Leaders, so glad to have you here again this evening. So, what we have been working on this week is the series No Excuses. And with No Excuses, we're talking about different things as a leader you need to be aware of so that you're not making excuses that affects your potential or your influence. So, we've been working this week from my book, Nate's Notions, You Matter, which can be acquired through Amazon.com or Lulu.com, and get your purchase, get your copy of it, use it, apply it. It's all about leadership. So let's jump right in tonight. Monday, we've talked about one area of no excuses. And that area we talked about on Monday for you to be mindful of is the paradigm shift. Tuesday, no excuses leaders, we talked about the concept of never settling. Always know that you have value in who you are. And so tonight it's ironic because now on Wednesday, we're talking about always know your value. Never settle, never make excuses. You cannot make excuses for who you are, how God made you, your weight, your height, your complexion, your demeanor, all of the pieces that make up your DNA. God developed that in you. What you have to do as a leader is to maximize on becoming the best product that God has created. And that requires effort on your behalf. Now, so tonight we're dealing with no excuses. Always know your value. If you're going to know your value, you have got to like you. And it's a phrase I say, you must like you. Now, because I love me, I always say, I love me. Regardless of what people think about me and what they have to say, whether it's true, accurate, or indifferent, you've got to like you. And when you like you, some things you hear, see, and things that have been said about you or to you, they don't have the same effect on you because you are in control of your emotional state. So accept yourself with all of your faults, all of the nuances, all of the strange things that come with it. Accept it. Because when you accept it, other people can't then use it as a weapon against you. Because now they don't have any power over you. And that is where knowing your value comes in. So no excuses. You got to know your value. You got to know that you matter. Be confident in who you are. Confidence is powerful. Confidence is inebriating. Confidence is like a good smelling cologne that wakes up your senses when you wear it or when someone walks by you with it. Or even if it's perfume, it heightens your senses. It makes you more aware and alert. That's what confidence does. And when people around you see that you are confident, it has a way of indirectly affecting them. So be confident. Never let society define you. When you let society or people define you, it's important that you realize when that occurs, you've already lost your influence. Because when you become a follower of the people, and hear me clearly, even of the culture, you now become one of the many and not an individual anymore. Now, in some respects, being a follower of the culture, it has its merits. But when we're talking about knowing your value, leaders, this isolates you, it pulls you out from the culture, from the people, from the congregants. As a leader, you've got to be in a position where your influence helps the other people that are following to be guided correctly. So you can't always be following the culture. Sometimes you need to be leading it. And if you're leading, you're not following the culture. You're leading it. So don't let society define you. You must be able to identify your skill, your talent, and your gifts. All of those things are very different. Your skill are things that you can develop. So you can learn to sew better because you already have a skill in it. You can train yourself to sew better. You can train yourself to sing better. You can train yourself to run better. The skill you have can always be enhanced. Your talent is something that is specifically relevant to who you are. So I am a person who likes to be able to wear bow ties all the time when I dress up. So I always wear a bow tie. It's distinctive to who I am and my character. So when people see me in a suit, their expectation, because I've already said it, is that I will have a bow tie on. Your talent talks about different things that you're made up of. But your gifts are things that are given to you by God that you don't have any control over. You can't warrant the gift. You can't enhance the gift. The gift is exactly how it is and is presented to you. You are the gift to many. And I need you to know that. Whatever you do, do it well. Don't do it halfway. Don't do it begrudgingly. Whatever you do, do it well because it speaks to your value. Every day as a leader, you've got to give 100%. And you don't feel like it every day. I know I don't feel like it every day. But as a leader, there are people who need you and they're expecting you to operate at a certain level of proficiency. Because when you operate at a certain level of proficiency, you help them come up to their level of proficiency. So they need you and they're counting on you. Seek people who can benefit from what you have to offer. Everybody is not going to appreciate your gifts, talents, and your skill. So don't waste it on them. I'm going to say that again. Everybody cannot appreciate your talent, your skill, or your gifts. So don't waste it on them. Seek out the people who can benefit from what you have to offer. Know that you are marketable, and you should be able to measure your impact on others. Now, this is something I've taught people called the multiplicity effect. You should be able to measure your impact or the impact you have on people that are around you. There's no way you can't measure it. You should always be able to measure your impact. For instance, if I motivate people who are in my midst, I should be able to see 2 or 3, 4 people that I've motivated. You can measure your impact. Your leadership is measurable. The question is, are you using your talent, skill, and your gifts on the people who need it and who need you? Because if not, you're just wasting your talent, skill, and gift. You're wasting it. And you don't have the time to waste. Sharpen your skills, your talents, and your gifts, even if that includes continuing your education. Sit under somebody. Leaders, get a mentor. It is very important that somebody is speaking into your spirit, into your mind, into your soul, into your heart. Somebody has to be feeding you strength, because you only have a limited capacity of strength. So you need to be able to draw that strength from elsewhere. And it's normally from people who are stronger than you or who have a value add that they can impart into your life. As a leader, making sure you always understand your value, know your options. Always be aware what your options are so that people can't push you in a corner and that people don't use you up and you have nothing left to offer. Set goals and set them high. Never sacrifice your value for others who don't know how to appreciate it. Listen, that means family, husbands, what? You don't have to tell everything to everybody all the time. There are some things you need to keep for yourself. And there are some things that are only going to work if you work it. Telling somebody else, oh, I have a vision, an idea, a concept about a business, or I want to be an entrepreneur. If they can't help you, you're wasting your breath. Now, you will ruffle some feathers. Get over it quickly. Don't matter. It doesn't matter that you're going to ruffle feathers. There are going to be people who are going to not agree with what you're trying to do. There are going to be people who are going to try to find the reasons why it won't work. There are going to be people who are going to patronize you only until it benefits them. Ruffle the feathers, get over it, and keep it moving. Don't worry about that. Now, one of the things that's going to be very valuable for you as you live a life of no excuses, and you always understand your value, you're going to have to be willing to extend yourself more than others expect you to. Very, very, very powerful. You are going to have to extend yourself more than what others expect you to. So listen, tonight was just a quick lesson on know your value. Don't make excuses for who you are. Don't backpedal. Don't try to belittle yourself because you're afraid that somebody else might think you're too intelligent, might think you use big words, might think you're a perfectionist. Do not cower out of somebody else's insecurity. Never do that. If anything, rise above it and keep moving. Leaders, I appreciate you. This has been your Nate's Nuggets. This is our series on No Excuses. And tonight's series has been Know Your Value. I appreciate you, leaders, who are changing the world and not afraid to do it because you matter. Have a great one, leaders.